have heard today there are numerous concerns related to so-called environmental, social, and governance policies being indoctrinated into accounts by woke asset managers. Today's hearing will help us better understand what Congress can do to ensure that activist stakeholders will not encourage woke corporate activism.
Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Boebert has proved Republicans still misuse the word woke.
As a black man, as a black athlete, as someone with power and a platform, when we do something wrong or something that people don't agree with, it's on every single tabloid, every single news coverage. It's on the bottom ticker. It's asked about every single day. But it seems like to me that the whole Jerry Jones situation photo, and I know it was years and years ago and we all make mistakes, I get it. But it seemed like it's just been buried under like, oh, it happened. Okay, we just move on.
And those in sports continuously try to bring up a plethora of examples to educate them.
What does woke mean?
It means you're an idiot. I mean, that's what it is.
So if anybody's an idiot, they're woke.
If you don't know whether you're a male or female, then I'm sorry, there's an issue.
This is not in the slightest.
Right glove that I wore on my right hand signified the power within Black America. The left glove my teammate John Carlos wore on his left hand also signified Black unity. The scarf that was worn around my neck signified blackness. John Carlos and me wore socks, black socks without shoes, to also signify our poverty.
But Olympic medalist Tommy Smith could help you out.
Woke means, to me, it's like policies and in the schools and companies that are forcing people basically to just go along with the tide.
No, incorrect. Way off.
There's a lot of things that need to change. One specifically is police brutality. There's people being murdered unjustly and not being held accountable. Cops are getting paid leave for killing people. That's not right.
Acknowledging systems and addressing the root causes of oppression could be a start for MAGA if they would just listen.
I'm guilty of this. I'm going through my kitchen, I'm going through my refrigerator, and I'm starting to ask the question, well, is this ketchup bottle woke? Is this mustard? I mean, literally.
Stunning stupidity from Charlie Kirk, who these days is trying to cancel Martin Luther King Jr.
Players are woke. They're aware. They know what's going on, and we just got to continue these conversations of the different things that are happening.
Future NBA Hall of Famer Chris Paul makes it quite clear. Why is this so difficult for righties to comprehend?
I realize I'm in the crosshairs of the woke mob right now, so before my final nail gets put in my cancel culture casket, I think I'd like to set the record straight on so many of the blatant lies that are out there.
Of course, New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers cries out wokeness when in the wrong, like many others.
I think Aaron Rodgers needs to realize that when you look in the dictionary, woke is an adjective meaning that you're alert to racial prejudice and discrimination. And it is something that originated in the African American community. And he should, using it in that way is despicable and very dismissive to the origin of the term. And he also quoted MLK.
The View's Sonny Hostin lets Rodgers and the like know.
Putin targeted Britney. He knew by choosing a black lesbian celebrity, it would put the political squeeze on Biden. Now every dictator knows who to target, a woke hostage.
Kind of sounds like something that he won't bluntly say, but uses code words to get his point across.
When you say I'm anti-woke, when you talk about wokeness, you're saying I'm anti-black and I don't want black people to speak up for themselves. I don't want equality and justice for black folks. So I say to those that say wokeness, we're anti-woke. This is not wokeness, what we talked about in here. And you should be on the side of folks who are woke because we're saying no more oppression against our community.
Missouri Congresswoman Cori Bush lets Waters know she sees right through it. In addition,
woke fascism that will destroy our nation.
We will never, ever surrender to the woke mob. Florida is where woke goes to die.
I think they mean black. Yeah. It's just another way to say thug or something else, right?
The Queen Erykah Badu nails it as always.
The word woke used to be used by progressives to talk about an awareness of inequities and historical inequities. But obviously it means something else to conservatives criticizing it. What does it mean to you? How do you define woke?
There's a lot of things. I mean, you want to start with biological boys playing in girls' sports. That's one thing. The fact that we have gender pronoun classes in the military now. I mean, all of these things that are pushing what a small minority want on the majority of Americans, it's too much. It's too much.
Even presidential candidate Nikki Haley pivots because she can't define it.
Now that we have this book banning culture rising up, it has to be fought. Because if we don't fight it, if we don't inform, if we don't teach off the court basketball stuff, doesn't mean much. But off the court, it's important because there's a void there, and it's an intentional void at this point, so we can't let it become normal. When it becomes normal, then we got real problems, and I think that's the goal in a lot of ways, to change the status quo of so-called woke. Woke ain't bad. Woke means you're alive. It means you're paying attention. Now, some people can overdo it in a certain degree, in a certain way, but in general, woke should be a positive term, that I know what's going on, I'm not going to stand for it, I'm going to fight it because it's not right.
No worries, though. San Antonio Spurs head coach Greg Popovich dismantles Republican agendas.
I just think Juneteenth is a woke holiday, and we shouldn't give these people an inch. This is the same sort of thing. I mean, no one in Sullivan County is in favor of this, almost nobody. The only people this is going to please is the same people that were in Nashville, in our capital, causing an insurrection and assaulting state troopers. So I'm voting no on this.
Even at the local level, Republicans try making a name for themselves.
Juneteenth, celebrating the day when enslaved people in Galveston, Texas learned of their freedom, and a day celebrated across the country to mark emancipation in general. Emancipation being one of the great triumphs of American history, right? Like, if there's one thing that we could all rightfully celebrate, it's when we ended slavery by force of arms, suppressed human bondage. That is a woke holiday, and he doesn't want to celebrate it because he doesn't think we should give those people an inch. If you ever actually wondered what woke means when conservatives and reactionaries and right-wingers use it, I think this clip gives you a pretty good idea of what people are talking about.
The New York Times' Jamel Bowie puts us all on with his analysis.
One of the things about woke is, Matt, can you explain it to your mom? The Democrats want to get you in an argument where you're having to define wokeism as if the Webster's Dictionary is defining it. And that's not what it is. It could be a feeling. It could be a sense. And I wonder if Republicans or conservatives are going to have to define it more.
What the hell is she talking about? Oh, it could be a feeling. It could be what it sounds like. What, Dana? What the hell are you talking about? And then, in order to define it, how do you explain it to your mom? Dana, you're supposed to be an educated white woman, middle-aged. Your mama probably ain't got no clue.
Would you mind defining woke? Because it's come up a couple times and I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
So, I mean, woke is sort of the idea that this is going to be one of those moments that goes viral. I mean, woke is something that's very hard to define, and we've spent an entire chapter defining it. It is sort of the understanding that we need to totally reimagine and redo society in order to create hierarchies of oppression. it's hard to explain in a 15-second soundbite.
Yeah, look, time.
Woke, which has a long history in black culture, was propelled into the mainstream in 2014 by activists protesting after Michael Brown, a black teen, was shot and killed in Ferguson, Missouri by police. Stay woke was a warning to be vigilant, as BLM protests were met with considerable police force. It evolved to encapsulate a broader social justice mantra. To be woke is now defined as to be cognizant of racial and social injustices.
Woke is accepting everything that is evil. So, for instance, monster cans. Each line represents a 6. So you got 666. And then if you look on the monster can itself, in the O of the monster, it has a cross, and it's got, represents the Antichrist. So when you drink it, you've got the cross coming down. And that's...
so that's wokeism,
yes,
sort of in a nutshell.
Yes, in a nutshell, it's accepting everything that's evil as good.
The right's co-opting of the word woke and the way it uses it to distort debate and camouflage bigotry is nothing new. Conservatives have always been very good at wrangling words dry of their meaning and repurposing them strategically. The elite, for example, now means anyone with an education and not billionaires like Donald Trump.
Woke is like just, when you picture someone woke, usually the blue, green-haired leftists spitting in your face or just trying to talk to them, like they get all crazy and riled up for no reason,
Andra Gillespie of Emory would tell USA Today, if you ask people what woke is, I think what they mean is they want to stand against people who are engaging in some type of advocacy for marginalized people. It's kind of this lumping together of anybody whose views could be construed as being progressive on issues related to identity and civil rights.
What is woke to you? What does woke mean?
Perversion.
Explain that.
To think that a child of 5 or 6 can determine that they want to be a boy because they're a girl, or they're a girl and they want to be a boy, and that the state or wherever they're living has the right to put them through transformation or transition, and the parents don't have a say. Now, that's not legal in all places.
I was going to say, that's not happening. That isn't happening. No. There are people talking about it, but there's no sort of political movement to make it happen for 5 and 6-year-olds.
Oh, yeah?
To be woke politically, wrote ABC, in the black community means that someone is informed, educated, and conscious of social injustice and racial inequality. Merriam-Webster Dictionary states.